guys, welcome back to another episode. In the last video we entered northeast India and were completely blown away by its natural beauty. In this episode we're making our way into Nepal, heading straight to Kathmandu to pick up a visitor before heading up into the mountains as we prepare for a month-long trek. Before leaving Cherrapunjee, we went to check out Nokkalakai Falls, the tallest plunge waterfall in India with a height of 340 metres. As impressive as the waterfall was, we found the surrounding countryside equally as beautiful. It's easy to see why this place is also known as the Scotland of the East. We left Cherrapunjee yesterday for Guwahati. Again, I'm probably not saying it right. So it's about 200 kilometres north of Cherrapunjee on the way to the Nepal border, and after a couple of random meetings, we ended up meeting some like-minded people who we've actually ended up staying at their place. So they put us up last night in their lovely home, cooked us a lovely home-cooked Indian meal, and yeah, it's just been really nice to meet some like-minded people who enjoy camping and doing all that sort of stuff, and they have given us some travel tips on where to go. So there's a national park called Manas, which is about 3.5 hours drive from here on the way to the border, so we're going to head there today, and they're just deciding now if they're going to come along for the day. Hope they do. Yeah, so we're going to head off in a minute and start making our way there.
We made it to Manas a bit later than planned, and as we were tight on time, it didn't make sense to pay the entrance fee. It was a good area to spend the night though, and we were lucky enough to see a black leopard jump in front of the car.
To Kathmandu. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. We just crossed over from India into eastern Nepal, and the crossing went really smooth. There was no checking of everything inside the car at this border as there was when we entered India the other week. Yeah, so it's pretty fast. It is now 2:30, so there is a campsite 60 kilometres away, so we'll just see how long it takes to get there. And then if not, I think there's another one maybe 60 kilometres after that, so we'll just see how we're going for time. And then hopefully we'll aim to get to Kathmandu tomorrow, but the traffic is looking pretty light. So
Police checks.
yeah, there's lots of police checks because we're near the border, I suppose. Yeah, so hopefully we can find somewhere good to camp up for the night before we keep going tomorrow.
So when we first added Nepal to our itinerary, I had this vision in my head of coming and standing up in places like this. Beautiful mountains, rivers, just peaceful. We had a few locals down here come down on their tractors this morning.
Can you see
Like
them?
the river stone.
Where are they? Nope.
So we're about halfway to Kathmandu from the border. We did drive a bit longer yesterday than we planned to, but to come to places like this, it's not all bad.
Yeah, we just couldn't really find anywhere that was that good to camp. There was just a lot of people around.
Yeah, like we've come up on the mountains now. Like when you enter where we did from India, it's more or less just flat, and it's quite wet as well. But now we've started heading to the mountains.
So glad that we did.
Yeah, we obviously come to a place like this, and the population's a bit more sparse. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks and more camp spots like this.
So we just had some breaky and a nice hot coffee, and then just do the washing up, and then we'll pack up and get going. We've got, I think it's 200 kilometres to go till we get to Kathmandu. It's not too far. We're only about halfway up, and this drive has got to be one of the most beautiful I think I've ever been on. The views are just amazing. Look at that. Parked up in Kathmandu. It is in a guest house garden parking area. It's been really nice and quiet here. It's a little bit south of the main part of Kathmandu, which is known as Tamel. So yeah, this is just more, I suppose, like a local area, but it's really, really quiet, and we feel like it's been really safe as well to leave the car if we've just been out walking or something. So the first couple of days that we were here, Kate and Stephen, who we'd done the Myanmar crossing with, they were actually here, so yeah, it was just a nice few days hanging out with them without massive days of driving. So today we are planning to get a taxi into Tamel so that we can pick up all of our hiking gear. We are going to get a taxi though, because they're only like $2 or $3 to get in there, and to take the car in, like the streets are just really narrow, and then we have to find parking and then pay for parking, so it's kind of just easier just to leave the car here and get a cab in. So the plan is that we're going to hire as much of our gear as possible, and then stuff like poles and stuff like that, we'll have to buy them. But the reason why we're going to hire it is because we don't really have much need for that much cold weather gear after we do the trek, and it's a lot cheaper as well, so we'll then can just give it back. And also we definitely don't have a massive wardrobe space in the car, so we'll have to give it back. So we're going to head off in a sec and try and hail down a cab.
So before we head into Tamel, we've just got to nip out to the airport to pick up our Sherpa. We haven't used these services before, but he assures me that he's capable of doing it, so fingers crossed that works out. But what we didn't realise was today is one of the big days in Nepal's calendar. It's actually a public holiday and the roads are reasonably quiet today. So whether we drive into Tamel afterwards or not sure, but all the cab fees have increased by about 100%, which is still only I think $6 or something, but it'll be easy to drive today, so we might think about that after. So our Sherpa's arrived, and I say Sherpa because Mitch has carried my backpack all the way from Australia with some spare car parts as well.
We're just on our way out of Kathmandu now. We are driving to Cherrapunjee, which is back east towards the Everest area. So that's where we're planning to leave the car before we go for the trek, or while we're going for the trek. It's a bit of a full house this morning. Mitch is just in the back, looking comfy. Huh?
All our new trekking gear.
Yeah, it's so full with all of our new equipment. So it's about midday now, and it is about like 7 to 8 hours to get there. And it does get dark at about 5, so we'll just see if we can make it the whole way. If not, we'll just find somewhere to camp maybe on the river and then keep going tomorrow morning. The traffic's not too bad. It definitely has been worse. It has been a holiday for the last week, and it's sort of coming to the end, so I'm hoping that we're not going to catch everyone like trying to come back to Kathmandu after going to their villages. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully we can make it the whole way there today. road. I'm not sure, like, so there's all the tourist vans that are driving, and then they just sort of get out and I suppose to give the names of all the people in there. I don't know. I don't really know what the story is, but it is pretty chaotic here. Crazy. Everyone's just trying to sneak up, but it's just a traffic jam. Way. We turned off the main road to start going up the mountain, but it's 4 o'clock now and we just hate driving when it's dark. The roads are just they're too windy and the drivers are too unpredictable to be doing it. It's just definitely not worth it, but amazing camp spot. So yeah, we'll just keep going in the morning after we have brekkie, and then find somewhere that we can leave the car for the trek and start walking. Yeah, so pretty stoked with this camp spot. It was so easy to find too. There's just like heaps of tracks which are going down to the river. Like every few kilometres you see one, and then once you're down here you can sort of just keep driving for a little bit and find a spot which is sort of hidden from the road.
Nice and quiet. The rapids block all the road noise, so
yeah, it's beautiful.
And the water's nice and fresh. We'll go for a dip in the morning.
Oh, is it that like?
Oh, it's freezing.
Oh, beautiful.
It's glacier water.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Perfect. That's it for this episode. In the next episode we park up, don the backpacks and start our little stroll through the mountains. Thanks for watching. See ya.